too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for 36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic, that's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1,000,000 billion and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants. I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion, but can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me.
Poverty is a war that affects all of us, a war without real enemies, a war that can leave us hopeless. It is a war that we fight every day of the year, a war that has been around since the beginning, a war that seems to have no ending. May it be the homeless man asking for some spare change at the corner of the street, or children in Africa starved to the point where one can see every single bone in their body. Everywhere we go, we are surrounded by poverty. But why? Why do we have to deal with this war? Why is it that some have to live on $8 a week while others make that amount by the second? Why is it that in order to survive, kids will start working the jobs of adults? Why is it that in some countries, people don't expect to live past 30 years? 30 years, the age at which most are just starting to figure out what they want to do in life. The age at which most are ready to start their own family. 30 years. Can you imagine what your world would be like if you only had 30 years to live? Do you think you would be sitting in that chair right now, living the life you're living? What if you know you had only 30 years to live, but you also know that there's someone out there who can change that? What would you tell them? Franklin D. Roosevelt once said, "The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much, it is whether we provide enough for those who have too little." If Mr. Roosevelt was here right now, in this room, do you think he would say that we are progressing, or do you think that he would say that we are failing? More importantly, what do you think? Do you think we are passing? Do you think that we are providing enough for those who have too little? Or do you think that we're failing? Do you think that we should be providing more? Think about all the investments people make every day. Millions of dollars of investments in big companies, businesses, banks. Doesn't that sound to you like adding more to the abundance of those who have much? Now imagine the impact a small fraction of those investments could have if it was applied to poverty. Such a small fraction, as a matter of fact, that the majority of us in this room would be able to do so right this moment. What if you were told that this fraction could be as low as $25, and that with those $25, you could help someone escape the grasp of poverty? Would you do it? It's issues like these that our consulting group Loans of Love addresses every day. What can we do to end poverty? What can we do to restore happiness and equality in the world? Well, these are hard questions to ask. We ended up finding our answer in Kiva. Kiva, an organization which realized that randomly donating a huge amount of money is just not effective enough. So they created their microfinancing program that gives people the opportunity to literally fight poverty $1 at a time. Furthermore, instead of just donating to the organization, Kiva's website allows you to choose from different business owners and allows you to invest into their business. Think of the old saying, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, but teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. Kiva works the same way. You can invest in the business of those surrounded by poverty, which in return will allow those surrounded by poverty to start providing for their own families. This is why our consulting group Loans of Love found it important to share the message of Kiva, and found it important to spread awareness of microfinancing. We thought it would be great to start with our youth, so we decided to go to a high school to challenge the students there to think about the impact they can have on the lives of others. You see, these microloan investments can be as small as $25, which gives all of us the opportunity to fight poverty. together. Why wait for one person to make one huge act of kindness when we can have many people make many acts of kindness? The outcome can be so much more powerful. It doesn't matter if you are male or female, middle class or upper class, high school student or adult. We all have had $25 in our pockets at one point in our lives and probably spent it on something we didn't really need. It is time for all of us to realize that we are in this together. Yes, we might not be immediately impacted by poverty, but that does not mean poverty doesn't exist. As a matter of fact, it is right in front of us, creeping in the shadows, causing misery and hopelessness in the lives of others. It could be the student you sit next to in class, the owner of the small coffee store where you get your morning coffee, or the kid polishing his shoes before you leave for work. Sometimes you just don't realize how close poverty is to your own life. Think about the impact $25 could make. Maybe not just your own individual investment, but those of 10 people combined. Students could keep on going to school, coffee makers could keep on making coffee, shoe polishers could keep on polishing shoes. $25. An amount that most of us spend on a daily basis. An amount that if it was to disappear out of our bank accounts, we would barely notice. $25. Think about it. What did you spend your last $25 on?